Market slip for the fourth day in a row. Sensex loses 157 points to close at 20,666 levels. Nifty closes 46 points down at 6,141 levels. Second largest PSU bank PNB decides not to raise the base rate. Hikes deposit rates by 9% in select maturities, but reports a 53% drop in net profit for Q2. It's Twitter all the way. Twitter shares soar 73% in debut trade. Twitter is now valued at a little over $31 billion. And from the global space, China's exports and imports rise in October. US economy grows faster than expected in third quarter, but bad news for France as S&P cuts its credit rating. Hello and welcome to Business Wrap on this cold Friday evening in New Delhi. I'm Sidhant, Sibal, and let's begin your one-stop destination to all the business news of the day, Business Wrap. On to markets. The market slipped for the fourth day in a row today. The Sensex closed 157 points down at 20,666 levels, while Nifty closed 47 points down at 6,141 levels. Weakness in European and Asian stocks hit sentiments adversely. The Sensex hovered in negative terrain in morning trade. Weakness continued on the bourses in early afternoon trade. Index heavyweight ITC edged lower in choppy trade. Banking stocks also edged lower. Punjab National Bank or PNB tumbled after weak Q2 results. Shares of state-run UCO Bank jumped after strong Q2 results. Losers on the chart were HDFC, Maruti Suzuki, ONGC, Bajaj Auto and HDFC Bank, which were down by between 4 to 1%. Gainers on the chart were Tata Steel, L&T, Tata Motors, BHEL, SSLT, which were up by between 3 to 1%. The market breadth indicating the overall health of the market was negative. Well, has the Diwali lights on the markets gone dim? Remember, today is the fourth consecutive day of losses for the markets. Both Sensex and Nifty today hit 1.5-week low. This is also the worst week in over 3 months for the Sensex. Here's a wrap-up of the market action of this week.
It seems that the bull run which we saw last week has fizzled out. Monday, the markets were closed on the occasion of Diwali Bali Pratipada. Tuesday, the Sensex fell below the psychological level of 21,000 mark after attaining a record high on Muhurat trading. The Sensex closed at 20,975, down 244 points, while the Nifty closed 64 points down at 6,253 levels. Wednesday, markets continued the downfall. The Sensex fell for the second day in a row by 80 points to end in the negative at 20,895 due to profit booking in financial and large cap stocks. The Nifty also declined by 38 points to 6,215. The volatile trade continued on Thursday. The Sensex did breach the 21,000 mark but again fell below it. The market fell after rating agency S&P cautioned it could downgrade India if the next government fails to reverse the slide in GDP growth. The Sensex fell by 72 points to end at 20,823. Similarly, the Nifty ended the day at 6,187, down 28 points. The volatility continued on the markets on Friday. The BSE Sensex slipped over 100 points in morning trade on Friday, weighed down by losses in realty, consumer durables, banks and power stocks. The first week of Samvat 2070 hasn't been as spectacular, but many believe that it's time for profit booking and the underlying momentum is there and we can see some action next week. Business Desk, DT News.
On to the rupee. Rupee ended at 62.47 versus the US dollar, down 6 paise or 0.09%. Rupee has been trading in the range of 61 to 62 against the US dollar throughout the week. We're joined by technical analyst or stock exchange analyst S. Ghosh to give us more details on the stock markets. Mr. Ghosh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
My first question is has the bull run, in a sense, lost its steam after Diwali?
Yeah, no, we are now still in uptrend. Okay. So the Nifty is forming a triple top at the level of 6342 around the Diwali. Now it is coming down. So I think market will further going up. It is just a correction of short-term trend. Okay.
What's
The
your
short-
what's
yeah.
your what's your outlook for the next week?
My outlook is I am very bull in the Indian stock market. Okay, so until and unless broke the 6079, I am my view is still bull in the stock market. So it is my advice to all Nifty trader. They can try to long Nifty around the level 6080.
And any sectors you think so will perform next good sectors for the next week?
Yeah, I am looking very bull sector, that is technology sector, IT sector.
Okay, sir. Thanks so much. Now it's time for another break. After the break, we'll go to the Q2 results.
सुनो, गाड़ी की चाबी तो ले लो।
आज नो चाबी। आज से मेरा कारपूल स्टार्ट हो रहा है। सॉरी यार, लेट हो गया।
सुनो,
हाँ,
थैंक यू।
थैंक यू। क्यों?
मेरी डायमंड रिंग के लिए।
डायमंड रिंग?
अब तुम कारपूल कर रहे हो, इसका मतलब हर साल हम फ्यूल बिल पे 50,000 तक तो बचा ही लेंगे। अब इतने में तो डायमंड रिंग आ ही जाएगी। आखिर बात तो एक ही है ना?
कारपूल करें और सालाना 50,000 रुपए तक बचाएं। ब्रॉट टू यू बाय पीसीआरए एंड पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट।
अगर सीमेंट जंग रोधक न हो तो जानलेवा हो सकता है।
श्री अल्ट्रा रेड ऑक्साइड, भारत का एकमात्र जंग रोधक सीमेंट।
एक नाम तो हर किसी का होता है, पर कुछ लोग अपने नाम को शोहरत की बुलंदियों तक ले जाते हैं। कई रातें काली करनी पड़ती हैं, इतवार कुर्बान करने पड़ते हैं, होली दिवाली सब भुलाने पड़ते हैं। कहना बड़ा आसान है कि मेहनत और लगन से बनता है नाम, पर सच ये है कि हद कर गुजरने से बनता है नाम। और सच ये भी है कि कितना भी बड़ा हो नाम, एक पल में हो सकता है बदनाम। अपने नाम की गरिमा बनाए रखिए, सर्विस टैक्स ना भरने की भूल मत कीजिए। सर्विस टैक्स वीसीएस के चलते भरिए अपना सर्विस टैक्स।
मैं हेल्प यू?
क्या गुलाबो, हमें भी खरीद लो। यार बहुत बढ़िया माल आया हुआ दुकान पर।
हेलो मैडम, मैडम पर्सनल गाइड, पर्सनल बॉयफ्रेंड मैडम।
आई फ्रेंड यू।
गुड होटल, वेरी चीप होटल मैडम।
क्या भाई, क्यों बदतमीजी कर रहे हो?
तेरी क्या बहन लगती है?
नहीं, मेहमान लगती है। और तुम्हारी भी। और आप सब कैसे इंसान हैं? ये बदमाश देश का नाम, देश की इज्जत मिट्टी में मिला रहा है, और आप सब खड़े खड़े देख रहे हैं। और ये सिर्फ देश के मेहमान नहीं, आपकी आमदनी भी इन्हीं के जेब से आती है। नाखुश होके जाएंगे तो फिर लौट के नहीं आएंगे। फिर क्या खाएंगे और क्या कमाएंगे आप?
भाषण बंद कर अपना।
अरे बंद तो तुझे आज हम कराएंगे।
इस देश में आने वाला हर इंसान हमारा मेहमान है। करो मेहमानों की हिफाजत तो मिलेगी देश को इज्जत, आपको बरकत। आगे बढ़ो, विरोध करो।
Welcome back. Now on to the Q2 results of the day. Well, state-owned Indian Oil Corporation or IOC today reported an 82.5% drop in net profit for the July to September quarter after the government did not compensate it fully for the losses on diesel and cooking fuel sales. Net profit for the second quarter of 2013-14 fiscal fell to 1,683 crore rupees from 9,611 crore rupees in the same period of last year. Meanwhile, UCO Bank also reported its result. The UCO Bank reported a near four-fold jump in net profit of 400 crore rupees for the second quarter ended September 30th. The bank had a net profit of 103 crore rupees in July to September quarter of 2012-13 fiscal. The gross NPS of the bank rose to 5.32% during the quarter from 4.88% in the year-ago period. PNB also reported its results. The state-run Punjab National Bank reported a 52% drop in net profit to 505 crore rupees for the quarter ended September 30, 2013 due to rise in non-performing assets. State-run Punjab National Bank has hiked interest rates on select maturities by up to 0.50% effective from November 11th. Fixed deposits for less than 1 crore rupees between 271 days to less than 1 year would yield interest rates of 8% up from 7.50% earlier. Bank decided not to raise the base rate for the time being.
We have with us the Executive Director of Punjab National Bank, Mr. Gauri Shankar, with us to talk to us on the financial numbers. Sir, going forward, what is the strategy on the interest rate front? Because that's what which is impacting the common man the most.
See, interest rates, if you want to talk to me, the thing is, this is the domain of the Reserve Bank of India, and whatever is being done by the RBI, that seems to be quite okay, because they have to keep in mind the inflation as well as the growth of the country. So I would not be able to comment anything further on that.
What about the deposit rates and lending rate of the bank in particular, sir?
See, deposit rates we have increased little bit on certain maturities, and lending rates as of date we have not increased the base rate, but we are going to take a cautious decision in the days to come, looking into the ALM, and the ELCO is going to decide in the near future, in the future.
Sir, what do you mean when you say that you have passed the consolidation phase and now you are about to enter the growth phase, and what are the sectors that you are going to focus on?
See, the sectors on which we are going to focus on are primarily the same which the industry is looking on to, that is retail, MSME, and of course rural is our again a big target. And then it was a consolidation phase for a few quarters. Now we are going to come out of that and we are going to increase our business size.
So the NPAs are one big problem for the banking sector as a whole. How is the bank doing on that front, and any special steps that you are going to take to recover the money, because that's a major reason behind the financial?
There has been a very big push for recovery of NPAs, no doubt about that, and NPA is a very big stumbling block for the industry as a whole. But let me share with you the things. It's not possible for us to say, for anyone to say that it is now the past, but definitely things have come to a very nice stage, so that in Q3 and Q4 you will not find much of NPAs coming so far as PNB is concerned.
What are the sectors that are expecting to have a good numbers in terms of credit growth, and also what will be the main focus where you expect the business to come from mostly?
See, it is going to be spread all throughout. It's not that we are going to put pressure on a particular sector. It is going to be all throughout. We are going to look after the industry, the MSME, agriculture, and as I told you, retail is also going to be our base.
Thank you very much, sir, for talking to us.
Now, some global market action. The Asian stocks fell after faster U.S. economic growth fueled concerns that the Federal Reserve may reduce monetary stimulus for the U.S. economy sooner than expected. Fed's bond buying program has been a source of liquidity for most Asian and emerging markets this year. Key benchmark indices in Singapore, China, Japan, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Indonesia and South Korea shed by between 0.6% to 1.09%. European stocks dropped on Friday as Standard & Poor's cut France's credit rating and investors awaited data on American jobs. Global rating agency Standard & Poor's cut France's sovereign credit rating by 1 notch to AA from AA+ on Friday, citing lack of progress on government reforms of the country's economy. Key benchmark indices in France, Germany and UK dropped by between 0.3% to 0.85%. Rating agency S&P today downgraded France's credit rating. S&P has cut France's credit rating by 1 notch. That's from AA+ to AA with stable outlook. It's a big blow to President François Hollande's efforts to turn around the Eurozone's second largest economy. Yesterday, S&P affirmed India's rating to BBB negative with a negative outlook. Meanwhile, the European Central Bank has cut interest rates to a new record low to prevent the Eurozone's recovery from stalling as inflation tumbles. Let's look at the week gone by, the big business news which will impact you.
As always, there was lots of biz news this week. Monday was a dull day. Well, who wants to work a day after Diwali? But Tuesday was a proud day for every Indian. India's historic Mars mission Mangalyaan was launched successfully. Same day, the smartphone maker BlackBerry called off its sale from BlackBerry's largest shareholder, Fairfax Financial Holdings. After the news, the stock plunged almost 17%. On Wednesday, the big news came from the Sanchar Bhavan. Telecom Commission accepted the TRAI-suggested reserve price for spectrum auction, but with riders. The Commission recommended 25% increase in 8 circles for 1800 MHz band. The Telecom Commission also approved the merger and acquisition M&A policy. Also some bad news for the Aam Aadmi. Home, auto and consumer loans are expected to become costlier, with the country's largest lender, State Bank of India, raising its lending rates by 0.20% with effect from the 7th of November 2013. The RBI on the same day announced new rules that will allow foreign banks to expand their presence in the country. Foreign banks will now be allowed to set up wholly owned subsidiaries in India, which will enable them to open branches anywhere in the country. A list of billionaires came out too. It said that India is home to 103 billionaires, that's 6th largest globally. Also, Mumbai is the 5th best choice for the world's billionaires. On Thursday, global rating agency Standard & Poor's warned that failure of the new government to come out with a credible growth plan post-general elections could result in ratings downgrade for India. This sent shudders in the markets, which closed in the red. Twitter got listed on the NYSE. Twitter shares jumped 73% on market debut. Friday saw good news from China and the US. The US economy grew at a faster than expected annual pace of 2.8% in the third quarter of the year. China's exports and imports rose in October, the latest in a series of figures indicating a recovery in its economy. Well, that's all in biz this week. Do watch this space for more news. Business Desk, DD News.
Time for a short break. Lots more on the other side.
वो अभी भी ट्रैफिक में फंसी हुई है।
अंदाज से सब कुछ कहें, क्या बात है जिंदगी, आसमां से भी आगे बढ़े, अंदाज है जिंदगी।
शादी करोगे मुझसे?
Presenting the all-new passion from Hero, style का cool अंदाज।
मक्खी मेरी पतंग है, तेरी कहाँ से हो गई? दे दे, नहीं तो क्या, नहीं तो मैं अपने बड़े भाई को बुला के लाऊंगा, वो दे छोड़ेगा नहीं। हाँ, बुला ले, मैं भी किसी से डरता नहीं हूँ, मैं खुद अपना बड़ा भाई हूँ।
किसी और पे निर्भर क्यों हो, खुद ही स्ट्रॉन्ग बन जाओ। हर हफ्ते लो आयरन की सिर्फ एक नीली गोली। ये खून में आयरन की मात्रा बढ़ाए, अंदर से बाहर तक एकदम सॉलिड बनाए। सरकारी स्कूलों और आंगनबाड़ी केंद्रों में निःशुल्क उपलब्ध। सॉलिड बनो इंडिया, भारत सरकार की पहल।
Welcome back. Twitter has made its debut at the NYSE. Shares of the microblogging site Twitter closed at $44.90, up more than 73% from initial price of $62 each. That means after its first day as a public company, Twitter is now valued at a little more than $31 billion. Remember, it's the biggest technology listing since Facebook in 2012.
Hashring was the tweet sent by Twitter yesterday at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time when the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange rang. When shares finally opened, the first trade was at $45.10. That's 73% above the offering price of $26. The later soared as much as 92% in large part as retail investor swooped in.
It's dangerous if and only if the person really thinks this is a great long-term investment. It could be, but if this is being done to be part of something, to have the certificate, to have the boasting rights, to tell everybody at the cocktail party, then it's a cost of entertainment.
Crowds were thick outside the NYSE and inside the exchange, cheering the launch of the 7-year-old social media phenomena. The opening price valued shares at 22 times expected sales for the next year. That's close to double rivals Facebook and LinkedIn. Twitter's 230 million users include world leaders and celebrities, but it does not have a profit.
I think it has an incredibly bright future. The question is only how bright is that future, because at this point, at $46, you have to believe the future of Twitter is brighter than the sun.
Twitter's debut on NYSE, led by Goldman Sachs, went off without a hitch, a relief after the Facebook fumble at the Nasdaq last year. Business Desk, DD News.
We're joined by IT expert Pawan Dugal over phone line. Mr. Dugal, can you hear me?
Hear you, please.
Yeah, what's the future of Twitter's share? It had a spectacular debut last night.
I think the future looks very bright. The reason is social media is a good flavor of the season. We've learned from the Facebook IPO that certain things should have been done in another manner. I think Twitter has learned from the mistakes of Facebook.
You saw it coming, the spectacular debut by Twitter.
No, it was definitely expected, but the kind of levels that it came was something that people were not really expecting. We knew it's going to be big, but the spectacular nature or the grandeur nature was something that a lot of people did not anticipate.
But what will be the future model, the future business model of Twitter, given the fact that it has almost zero profit?
That's a bigger challenge that Twitter has now. The question is what kind of a sustainable model that it has. It's actually sitting on a mountain of data, but the question quickly is how it plans to go ahead and monetize the same. And the onus will be back on the Twitter team to come up with a robust model which can help convince stock markets that, look, this is not just a spectacular entry, but will continue to be a spectacular business as time passes by.
Thanks so much, Mr. Dougal. Now on to our next story. India 2 months ago faced lots of economic problems. Now the situation has improved, but yesterday global rating agency Standard & Poor's warned of rating cut if the new government fails to set house in order. But it's just not India which is facing the problem. Russia acknowledged for the first time that its economy will lag global growth in the next 20 years, setting the stage of an era of stagnation that could threaten President Vladimir Putin's grip on power. Look at this report.
It's sparing no expense when it comes to the Winter Olympics, sending a torch into space en route to Sochi. But it seems Russia's economy isn't shining as brightly as it should be. The economy minister has just forecast growth of around 2.5% over the next 2 decades instead of 4%. That raises the prospect of an era of stagnation. Many international investors aren't surprised.
You actually have a highly educated population, but the government structures do everything that they can to try and dampen wealth creation and entrepreneurship.
Russia is the world's largest oil producer, but the grim outlook suggests it still relies too heavily on high and rising oil prices. It also makes Russia a poor relation in the BRICS group of a large emerging markets.
Above-trend growth.
Together they are expected to grow at a rate of 5.2%. President Putin has often boasted his country will be a top 5 economy by the end of the decade, but that now looks unlikely.
And there have been some very interesting and innovative company formations in Russia, but they're never allowed to flourish.
The Olympics are meant to show Russia as a modern go-ahead country, but even that has been marred by concern. After 14 years in power, as either president or prime minister, Putin could be facing his toughest task yet. Business Desk, DD News.
If getting a Sarkari job is a dream for everyone in India, getting a job with Samsung is a dream in South Korea. South Korean college students cram for exam in order to achieve their dream jobs at Samsung. They believe that a job with Samsung will not only offer a good salary and pension, but also holds key to a good marriage.
In a cram school in the South Korean port city of Busan, 70 college students packed into a classroom chanting, "We can do it," as they study for an exam they hope will guarantee them a job for life with Samsung Group. The promise of Samsung, whose sprawling business empire spans consumer electronics to ships, offers not only a good salary and benefits but also holds the key to a good marriage in this Asian country. The twice-a-year recruitment rounds by the Shebol conglomerates such as Samsung and Hyundai have spawned a cottage industry worth millions of dollars as young Koreans do what they have done from the age of 5, cram to go ahead. Let's hear what applicants have to say.
I have long dreamed of getting a job at Samsung and never thought that I would fail. But if I fail this time, I'll definitely try again to get into the company. Now I have useful tips for the preparation, so I think I can study more effectively.
Aptitude test workbooks cost around $20 and feature prominently in every bookstore in Korea. Private tutoring costs can run into thousands of dollars. In South Korea, 65% of 25 to 34-year-olds receive tertiary education, the highest rate among the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, 34 member states. Business Desk, DD News.
So a dream job there. Now time for repeat headlines. Markets slip for the 4th day in a row. Sensex loses 157 points to close at 20,666 levels. Nifty closes 46 points down at 6,141 levels. second largest PSU bank, PNB, decides not to raise the base rates, hikes deposit rates to 9% in select maturities, but reports a 53% drop in net profit for Q2. It's Twitter all the way. Twitter share soars 73% in the debut trade. Twitter is now valued at a little over $31 billion. And from the global space, China's exports and imports rise in October. US economy grows faster than expected in the third quarter, but bad news for France as S&P cuts its rating of credit. Well, that's all in this edition of Business Wrap. Thanks for watching. Stay warm and have a fantastic weekend.